Hello and welcome to Double A Gaming. Um, I know we were supposed to do a another chat. Me and Andy were supposed to talk about the new Blue God that came out tonight, and we tried recording it, and the whole recording was apparently just vanished into thin air. I'll never understand why it happened. Andy couldn't be around for another one, so I had to record this one by myself. Um, we did manage to have the whole chat. So tonight we're looking at the Blue God came out today in Japanese, which doesn't help a lot. So translation was hard for the first few minutes, for the first like few hours. Um, I know they got it wrong the first time, but let's go over this guy. His name is Kefnet, either the Careful or the Thoughtful, depending on the translation you got. It's two in a blue, for a 5/5 flying indestructible. Um, his his restriction, like the Red God, is he can't attack or block unless you have seven or more cards in hand. Um, which Andy apparently said he saw coming. That was his real guess. Yesterday, last night on the show, I guessed that it would be Mill, and he's actually, if you have seven or more cards in hand, and he is a, you can also pay three and a blue to draw a card. Then you may return a land you control to its owner's hand. Some of the first translations painted him as a much worse card, making it you return a land you control to its owner's hand to draw a card. I believe there are moonfolk. There's a moonfolk with that ability. I remember that from the Kamigawa block. And I think that was the reason a lot of people went with it at first, is because he can't talk a block unless you have seven or more cards in hand, and they figured the Moonfolk ability just made sense. Um, on first glance, with this translation, um, he looks a lot better, um, and he looks a lot better than the Red God in general, at least for EDH. Uh, we agreed that he would see a lot of play, definitely a lot of play as the one of the 99. Um, at worst, he's just a treasure trove that just sits there and is also a creature that could, easily turn into a flying indestructible 5/5 later. Um, and at his best, he's gonna be a threat for a good portion of the game and draw you a lot of cards. Um, it also helps that you can return a land you control to your hand and replay it. A lot of the lands in EDH have great ETB effects like Bajuka Bog and Halmar Depths and a couple of other ones like that, um, which would be very helpful. It also helps that his ability is worded that you draw a card first, so that you can return a land to your hand if you don't draw a land, and you can play it again and effectively bring the cost down to just two and a blue, or whatever combination of mana you end up using to pay for it. Um, now, I know last night we gave a rating for. We wanted to stick what we did last night and do a 1 out of 5 rating, um, for these gods, and Andy chose a 3 out of 5. Um, he said it was good. He expects a little more out of the other ones. He plans on using them in a few decks, but um, he didn't quite see the same application for what is essentially just a Azure Mage, as I did. Um, Now I know this is going to see a lot of play in stuff like infinite decks with any infinite mana combos. Um, a lot of the more competitive blue decks run Deadeye Navigator and Palancron and other such cards, to just get infinite mana. And Kefnet is a great tutorable, recurable, and reanimatable. I don't know. Target to get you all those cards back in your hand, um, or to get all those cards of infinite mana, draw your whole deck, and just win from there. Uh, he's And not to mention he's indestructible. He's indestructible, so he's pretty hard to get rid of. I gave him a 4 out of 5. Um, uh, I'd give him probably closer to a 5 if I didn't have to admit he's probably not a staple. Um, for the decks that he goes in, he's going to be brilliant. You're really going to enjoy having just pay 4, draw a card, especially in heavier control like builds for EDH, or even just combo ones. Basically everything blue's node for in EDH, he's amazing for. But he's not quite a staple. Not every blue deck is going to want him. He's. I would put like Eternal Witness at a 5. We gave Hazaret. Andy gave him a 1. It gave her a 1. I gave the Red God Hazaret a 2, and so she got a 1.5. And we as a team, AA Gaming gives Kefnet a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5 out of 5 for a score. I definitely think he's very powerful for standard. He should be pretty expensive out the gate, kind of a little bit like Thassa 2.0, where he's easily going to be the one recognized as the most expensive right out. Should be about $20 pre-order. This guy is not messing around. As far as a general, we both kind of came to the conclusion that having an indestructible flying 5/5 with a pretty easy activation trigger, like he can activate pretty easily in EDH. He should be on a lot of the time, and throwing some equipment, playing some Voltron with them can definitely be pretty devastating. I see definitely somebody at some point equipping World Slayer to this guy and just taking out everybody's stuff over and over and over. Do you have a path and a planes in hand? Then you're gonna have a bad time. I'm sorry. So that was that's a recap of our lost recording of our original talk about it. Will definitely be by tomorrow for whatever the black, red, or the black, white, or green gods are. We're both looking forward to green probably the most, considering Nylea was definitely the worst of the cycle last time. We're definitely both happy with Kefnet in general, and incredibly happy it's not draw. Incredibly happy that activated ability wasn't as bad as first translated. So 3 out of 5 from us as one in general, 1 in the 99, and as your commander, he definitely has a lot more application than the Red God, and a lot more application as a contender for maybe your mono blue aggro or like Voltron deck. Should be a lot of fun, and I think you guys should pick it up and give him a try. If you crack one, keep on to it. It'll be an EDH almost staple for basically the entire format's life. This is a great new printing. So that's my recap. This is Adam from AA Gaming signing off. Catch you guys later.